From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Miami. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. Set.
First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Hurts sets up to throw it. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Throwing is Hurts. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Dragon 60.
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And this one is incomplete. The Dolphins at 4-12 now on the year. And they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd.
Check, Bobcat, check, Bobcat.
Here's Hurts to throw. And that will be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year, 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020s, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're not comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Mayfield on 1st down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mayfield looks to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. Here's Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And they'll get him down right around the 16. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number 1, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
But 1st down, Hurts. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Giants will take over here just shy of the 30.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what
Put
you
your
do
foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here. Over 20 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield now from the 50. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Mayfield on play action. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's a give up the middle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Hands it off out of the gun. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. He's got it. And he's brought down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Try to run this one in. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. 2nd down and goal. Mayfield. He'll buy some time right. He's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Jahan Dotson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Sanders. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Ready. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
On 2nd and 15 now. Hurts. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Jabril Peppers deep to receive. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielding just inside the 20. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Come on, come on.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit.
Okay,
they didn't
ready.
get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And some room to roam now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And his throw is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well. You know, he's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Bronco 80.
To throw again on second down. Hurts. And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 37. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. There's plenty of distance there as he banks it in. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works. But he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw here. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 46. Hurts fumbles it, and the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Divine Diablo there to make the stop.
Now that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mayfield. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's a second down run with Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 18. 23 yards the pickup there. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because
trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here we go.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 60 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. This one caught by Ridley. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mayfield down. And that is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
The Giants on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And he gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. The 71 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts steps away. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Stick the Eagle! Stick the Eagle!
Here's Hurts to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Let's go! Panther 11! Panther 11!
Throwing is Hurts. And that is Touchdown, Miami. DeAndre Hopkins from 8 yards out. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. Wait, hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. 145 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Ready!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And incomplete on the deep ball. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football. So there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Here we go.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
19 tight.
Huntley to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Huntley. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Dolphins are right back in this football game. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly. Down Hurts fumbles it. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
After the sack on first down, Hurts. That's into the hands of Edwards. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Cup 19! Cup 19! 19 Lions!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Into the hands of Sanders. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
19 Tiger! 19 Tiger!
On first and 10, it's Sanders. On the move past the 40. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just over 90 seconds to play, and this would figure to be about as critical as it gets here. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Well, the lead late in the fourth, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They'll look to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's going to be taken out of bounds, but not before he gets this all the way down to the 10. A big play there on the catch and run. 75 yards. That grab another career milestone for him. 900 career catches now.
All right, the applause is beginning, right? The applause is going on. That puts him just outside the top 20 all-time in the NFL. Next in his sights at 903, Wes Welker.
Rarefied air. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13.
Driving 60.
Back to throw. And it's caught. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
And a decent little gain puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Here's Huntley. And Dotson, he's got it. And he's got a first down as he's tackled inbounds at midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now Huntley. And this one is incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Mayfield. He sets to fire deep. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's got some space here. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
Not a bad idea to start overtime. Feed the hot hand.
And understand that when you're feeding that hot hand, everyone else is pretty much in agreement on it. You know, a team looks at their game and says, all right, who's playing really well? Let them touch the football, and we'll do our job to help them along.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
3rd and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And some space here. And he will step out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. Well, 217 yards rushing for him now on the afternoon as he just continues to pummel this defense. So a huge gain on the ground here puts him into a wonderful spot. And remember, of course, a touchdown wins it.
And we're in overtime, right? So you have to think defense has been out there for 4 quarters, might be a little bit tired. The attrition of the game may have led to that long run.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd and goal, Mayfield. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. The mistake there by the offense, Charles, they tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.